What's going on, yo? I'm here to talk about one of my personal least favorite Pokemon, Cinderace. However, just because it's my least favorite Pokemon, or one of my, it's not actually my one, maybe in my top 10, I don't know. I like most Pokemon, to be honest, but just because it's my least favorite Pokemon doesn't mean I'm not going to give it cool buffs and changes. If you're new to this ROM hack, you've never heard of it before, every single Pokemon is reworked. I look through everything. I consider all sorts of aspects when changing them. If you're curious as for the balancing and uh, my general approach, I highly recommend if you are new here to pause the video and read the description. It's got really important bullet points that you can read. Don't click off the video yet. I know there's a lot of links that you might want to click on. When you're done with this video, you can check out my other ones. You can also check out the Google Sheet link down below. A lot of the ways that the Pokemon are reworked comes from moves being changed, and I have a really detailed and easy to navigate move guide that has everything like linked to one another, so you can just click the categories, and you can also just Control plus F if you want to search for something specific. But I think the best way to understand the move changes in this game is to just click them from here, and just go based off of that. So yeah, definitely check that out when you're done with the video. And then again, read the description, all that good stuff. You can also check my other videos when you're done. If you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you coming back. As always, make sure you drop a like, leave a comment. Helps the algorithm, helps boost my channel up, helps get my work out to more people. So yeah, if you want to support me, make sure you do that. Yeah, with all that being said, Cinderace. So I didn't make any of the Galar starters dual type. I personally just don't think it fits them that well. I already discussed it in the Rillaboom video, and I'll discuss it in the Inteleon one as well, because those ones you can make more of an argument for dual type. Fighting is so boring. There's no way I'm doing that to Cinderace, man. So especially because they already have versatility anyway. Speaking of, I did swap out versatility for Libero for this ability called versatility, because Libero is now repurposed into a signature ability for one of Tinkaton's abilities. So essentially, you can watch the Tinkaton video if you want to learn more about that. But that way, I mean, versatility fits Cinderace just fine. So I figured he can have that while I make the Libero a more interesting signature for something that doesn't make sense to have. The ability to begin with. Yeah, so Cinderace has some really neat abilities in terms of combos. So all three of the starters have expertise because they are literal experts in their field. Cinderace, soccer player, Rillaboom, drum player, and then Inteleon, secret agent, spy, so sniper, whatever. So expertise is just a solid boosting ability. It's stronger than versatility in the regards that it boosts your stab stronger. Not to mention it also breaks focus sashes. And then quick feet is really good. So you might be thinking quick feet's mid because you look at the speed stat and you're like, well, he's already fast as hell. What do you need quick feet for? And in a competitive sense, you would be kind of right. Because yes, in competitive you're guaranteed, plus speed out of nature. You're guaranteed the most optimal IVs in nature. But in this game, all the eggs have 20 IVs, and then you are not guaranteed a plus speed nature, so obviously odds are you don't get one. If you get lucky, you get a plus speed nature, then quick feet is more situational, but even then it's still good. Number one, because you can run max attack and special attack with quick feet, or you can run like max bulk with quick feet, switch in on a hit easier, and then whatever. So that's all really fun. But even just if you're getting a neutral speed nature, right? So you're hitting 336 speed only, which isn't bad or anything. But so essentially, here's how this works with quick feet and fast Pokemon in this game. So essentially, you look at what you outspeed. You outspeed base 103 and below. That's it. Anything with 104 or higher is outspeeding you on the AI's team, because they're always going to have the best nature and 31 IVs. So essentially what that means is if there's something with higher speed than 103, you're going to have to switch quick feet if you want to outspeed it, or run a scarf or quick claw or priority move of some kind, which you have options for. You've got good enough priority with quick attack, pyro dash, ignite, pyro ball, which I'll get into in a bit if you haven't read it already on the screen, e-speed, which is also really good with versatility. But yeah, you have a fair pick, swift, mudshot, vacuum wave. You have priority moves, and then you sucker punch, etc. And you've also got a good, sort of speed tier for Scarf or Quick Claw, but those items with item claws might be better off used on somebody else on your team. So, yeah, Quick Feet is super good. Not to mention Quick Feet lets you switch your moves around, so that's really fun. But yeah, anything with this speed or faster, you're going to run Quick Feet for, and also keep in mind with Quick Feet, you need no speed EVs to outspeed the entire game. You're hitting 409 at neutral, so with no EVs. So you can run, like I said earlier, max attack, special attack, or max HP, or whatever it is, so you can take a hit better or be a full mixed attacker. Speaking of, yes, I made Cinderace a mixed attacker. I think it's cool. Number one, there wasn't really much for me to put the stats to hit 550 anyways, outside of like giving it like 80, and I think it was like 85 HP, 80 defense, 80 special defense, and then like keeping a special attack, like not good. But I don't know, I think that's a lot more boring personally, and also I don't really like him being that tanky anyways. He doesn't look like he should be that tanky. Obviously, if I had to do it, I would. But another thing is that another reason I made it a special mixed attacker is because of Power Ball. So Power Ball is reworked for other Pokemon. It's now a special move. It's like a literal interpretation of the move. Because obviously, when Cinderace uses it, he's kicking a ball. I understand that. But when other Pokemon use it, it's just shooting. It's a fireball. It's like shooting a big fireball. It's like Ignite, but it's super big. It's a big old fireball. So I made it like a snipe shot type move, which is funny. It's also coincidentally also reworked to be the same thing, but water type version. So essentially, it's a 50 base power crit priority move. It's like almost like you can interpret it as like a fire type special E-Speed. It's slightly bigger than E-Speed, and the main drawback is that it can't be used twice in a row, so you can't spam like on other Pokemon, for example, like I don't know, Magmortar, Volcanion, you know, Mega Launcher boosted, you know, Armarouge, like Mega Launcher boosted Power Ball is going to be insanely strong. So I want to stop you from just spamming specs like nonstop. You can obviously you can still get a kill and then switch out, switch back in, but you can't just click it brainlessly. So that's the downside there. So yeah, Powerball, I mean, it's still good, right? It's still a 75 base power priority move at level 36 with 90 base special attack. That's good. That's very good. It's not as like insane as it might be otherwise, although honestly, I would have to rework it anyway because inaccuracy is like whatever. He does have a decent amount of inaccurate moves that you can take advantage of. Triple Axle, Gunk Shot, and Megaton Kick, I believe, are the only three. And High Jump Kick, yeah. So you've got 4 inaccurate moves right there. So you could run Wide Lens for certain boss fights with Cinderace plus versatility and get that really strong. Triple Axle is a kicking move, so that's why I gave him that. Well, it's not actually a literal kicking move because Pokemon that don't even have legs get Triple Axle, but it can be a kicking move if that makes sense. So I think it fits Cinderace nicely. Also, their whole versatility vibe. And then you've got your strong ground move, you know, all these other fun things you can take advantage of. Of course, you've also got 100% accurate strong ground move with Mud Bomber, but it's coming off of your lower special attack, so it depends on the situation. Mud Bomber also hits multiple times, so that kind of mimics the effect of Expertise. So Expertise is great, not only because you get a stronger boost on your fire moves, but also because even though it's weaker than versatility for stab, number one, it boosts all your moves. So if you want to get like 3 kills in a row or some weird shit, then it might be better. Not to mention, most importantly, it has that multi-hit effect. So it breaks sashes and multi-scales and energy shields and stuff. Rock Blast I threw on there. I don't know why I'm mentioning that specifically. I guess it's just because it might seem weird. The whole thing with Power Ball and Vanilla is that it's a little rock. Like he kicks up a little rock and he makes it turn fire. So like he kicks it so hard fire goes around. Whatever. The point is, little pebble. I think Rock Blast makes sense in that regard. You can kick rocks at you, whatever. But yeah, this guy's got really fun stuff. So I haven't covered Game Plan yet. That's an exclusive move. It comes from Double Team's animation. I think it's really fucking cool. I think it's a really cool way to encourage that special attacking set. Honestly, probably a little early at level 36, but I want to let him cook. I want to let the special Cinderace cook a little bit. I might have to move it later, though, if it ends up being a bit broken early on. Not to mention, setup in general might have to get soft banned at some point. We'll have to see as the game comes out and how that all plays. But yeah, Game Plan is really fun. It's essentially Quiver Dance, right? So, fun move. It's also, I believe I made a neutral priority. Did I make a neutral priority? Because all the other ones are minus priority. Like all the other, yeah, I did make a neutral priority. So like Quiver Dance, all the other widespread setup moves are all minus priority. Besides stuff like Calm Mind and Polka. Basically, any setup move that gives you +2 attack or special attack or more, or gives you a speed boost and an offense boost at the same time, is minus priority now. And that might change to more in the future too, you know, even like agility and shit in the future might have to get changed to that as well. We'll have to see. The main thing, that reason I did that is because leads will often have taunt or some other anti-setup stuff, and if you run Quick Claw, you can outspeed that and you know, get the free setup before they can taunt you. So I want to prevent that, and also just in general make it a bit harder to set up. There's also other anti-setup stuff that'll be in the game, but yeah. Regardless, it's still good, especially at level 36. I mean, that's really early. You've also got other tons of fun, strong coverage moves which you can take advantage of with versatility. Keep in mind it is Gen 9 Protean, so essentially he will change his type once, and then you have to switch out again if you want to change your type again. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. Yes, it is a nerf technically, but I think it works good still. I also threw on some other cool stuff like Energy Ball, which is kind of funny because, you know, the ball moves. He does get Electro Ball and Vanilla and all these other Shadow Ball and Vanilla. Aura Sphere, same thing. Although Aura Sphere also fits him in general because of his vibes, like the fighting spirit, energy, whatever. I don't know. I mean, he's got tons of fun, strong moves that he can just switch around between. Even endgame, you've got like Headlong Rush and shit. That's obviously at the very end of the game, but with versatility, it's very strong. It's ground type, close combat. Honestly, I could put it earlier. Maybe I will. I don't know. Because CCTM is like in the mid-50s. Hold on. I don't know. I don't think it's that deep. I'll figure it out. Maybe I put this at like... I think I like this as it is. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I guess this is proof that regardless of how much I dislike a Pokemon, I'll still give it cool shit because I gave my man a signature move that only him and like Passimian have, I believe. Maybe some others, but I don't think any other ones make much sense to have it. Mostly just these two. Maybe there's another one I'm forgetting, but it's more niche on Passimian because he's not gonna have special attack. He's just gonna use it for the speed boost and the speed F boost. But Cinderace, it's cool not only because it gives you speed F, but also that special attack and speed. So that's all really cool and fun, and you can use it with expertise as well as versatility. Also, endgame, yes, you do have Victory Dance, which is the physical version of Game Plan. Obviously, that's like just the last 9 or so boss fights you have access to that for only, so nothing too crazy. Obviously, a good move though. Versatility E-Speed Band is good for certain boss fights. Just getting that stab banded E-Speed for. I mean, it sounds strong, and in like a competitive sense, it's strong, but it's still not going to be able to like completely clean sweep through a lot of teams. So you definitely need some other support and stuff going on. Also, shit like SD, speed, or whatever you want to, I don't know, shit like that is good, because you use SD, which is a normal type move, and then you change your type. Speaking of, that's also why I made Game Plan Fighting type, so it's really cool because essentially you can run, so Game Plan is good with expertise, of course, but it's also good with versatility because you click Game Plan, you turn into a Fighting type, and then you now have Stab Aura Sphere, which I think is really cool, so that's definitely fun if you want to use that. You also got Triple Kick, which is 90 base power overall, multi-hit move. That's good with versatility. Obviously, expertise makes all your moves multi-hit, but for earlier on, Triple Kick is a nice sash breaking option that's stronger than a lot of the other fighting moves you might get at that point. Early game, you got tons of cool coverage too, like 90 base power bounce and Hoodwink, which is essentially like 80 base. It's essentially Fairy type Iron Head. Tons of little cool things, even like, Headbutt early on for stab, all kinds of little fun things you can abuse. Not to mention Timeout. I actually didn't list it as a signature move. I probably should have, but I don't really. Sure, I'll list it. So Timeout is essentially another 1 PP like heal move. So let me just fix this format. I'll put just Timeout in all caps so I don't forget to document that after we're done with the video. So yeah, Timeout is cool. It's a 1 PP heal move. Very early on. Honestly, it might be too early on. I'll have to see how that plays out. I think it's cool because you're not really using that shit late game ever on Cinderace. Maybe for some very niche scenario, but overall I think it's more fun to just abuse that heal move early on, especially because I don't really think they make much sense to win. I mean, you could argue slack off. Sure, they're a sports player. They can slack off, I guess. Or like Morning Sun because they're a fire type, but I don't know. I think Timeout's a really cool, flavorful move. Animation comes from Heal Bell. No, it comes from coaching now. So it blows the whistle and they call a little timeout and then they heal. So I think that's super sick. Really fitting animation, really cool signature move. Actually, timeout, I made it different. Isn't it different? Or did I change it back to 1 PP? Okay, I did change it to 1 PP. At some point it was like a 3 PP minus priority heal bullshit, but now it's just the same as the other like Life Dew jungle healing type moves. So that's a fun option. But yeah, overall, tons of cool, fun coverage moves you could take advantage of. Great abilities. Even Blaze on the pre-evolutions is good for early on because, again, you get that boost to your fire moves. You can use, like, Endure. I mean, Endure, with Movie Learner, Endure Pinchberry stuff is so fucking strong. It's really good. So, Endure, Blaze, Pinchberry, Salac, or Lychee Berry is really, really good on Square Bunny on Reboot. You can also use, like, Flame Wheel, which gives you +1 speed in conjunction with Blaze to get attack and speed boosts. So, tons of fun ways you can abuse that. Yeah, that's really about it. I also gave him a lot of really strong special moves earlier on. So not only did I give Game Plan on Evolution, I also gave them like Burn Up and Blast Burn and Overheat all super early compared to the physical versions of those moves. So for example, Blast Burn is physical Blazing Assault. Those are both Draco Meteor type variants. Overheat is physical, a special Flare Blitz. Blast Burn special Blazing Assault. Burn Up is 130 power, always burns. So that's really fun. You can use that with versatility or expertise and even quick feet, whatever. It's just a fun and strong move. Level 40 off of 90 base special attack is very, very strong. Because again, I do want to encourage that mixed usage. So yeah, a couple other little things I could touch on. I would love to, but I don't really know if I want to explain every single little nitty gritty move change because you can always just check those out for yourself. Speaking of, the video is about to be finished, so if you haven't done that yet, I recommend you open up the sheet and give that a look. It'll be useful for you to understand a lot of the changes. And shout out to you if you made it to the end. Make sure you drop a comment, and I appreciate that. Peace.